Well, today's the day, the long-awaited install of our Fronius Wattpilot Go 22 kilowatt portable EV charger. So as I mentioned, it's a portable charger, but it has a mounting plate that you can also mount it on the wall. So we'll be putting that up today beside our 32 amp single phase 3-pin socket, which we've got our adapter lead here. So 3-pin single phase 32 amp to 5-pin, and that'll plug directly into our Fronius Wattpilot Go. So we've got Arran from Regen EV, the EV charger specialist that we interviewed a couple of months ago about home charging. He's on his way and he's going to help me set this up today. So stay with us. Well, here it is. It's on the wall. So as I mentioned, Arran's here. Arran's kindly screwed it up on the wall for us. We've plugged it in. We've got it commissioned, apps up and running. But I'll hand over to Arran to just have a bit of a chat from a general installer's perspective, what you thought.
I thought it was a pretty good install, to be honest. It's pretty simple. There's not complex CTs to go in switchboards. There's no bus cables or Cat6 cables to be run. It's simply just mounted on the wall, which is literally 4 screws, and then it just slots into place.
Yeah, it just lifts off them.
Just like that. So it can, it's portable, it can be moved around, but it still looks quite nice on the side of the property. But we do need to talk about this. Because we are single phase, this device has the capability of 3-phase as well. So all those cables are intact for when you're moving around the place and there's caravan parks and whatnot with 3-phase, then you've got that option as well. But in a single house, single phase environment like this, then an adapter is pretty well critical to make this work. So from my perspective, I think this probably needs to be just a tad bit shorter because we've got a lot of excess kind of cabling and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And then it'd be nice to see this, I don't know, secured in a different way. We just put the saddle there just for the time being, but we, a little cradle or something might come in handy.
Yeah, and you're right on that cable. Like the cable's reasonably heavy, isn't it? So
yeah.
If you don't need it, the shorter the cable, the lighter it
Correct.
is on everything. But
yes.
yeah, some sort of mounting thing to come up with. And again, that'll depend on everyone's different installs.
Absolutely. And this is and these lights represent the ampage. So as we stand now, that is 10 amps. So it will go into increments of 4. So 10. I'd say that would be 20, 30. No. Maybe. and then the last going.
I'll work it out and I'll put it up on the screen.
Yeah, that's right.
But as we press and hold that, that's your graphic interface, I guess. So unlike the Zappies, isn't it? The Zappies have the little screen. This one has just got coloured LEDs.
Yeah, and then also you've got the app functionality, so you can play around with those settings quite easily. But to move it between the other settings, it's just simply push the button. That's in eco mode now, which is surplus solar.
Waiting for the sun to come out?
Yeah, that's it. It's not happening at 6 o'clock
we've lost
at
it
night.
Today.
And then this one is full power or full current, and then there's oh, that must be full current.
That's the full current. The other one was time of use, so you can set your time you want it to come on.
Like overall, very easy. The only thing that could potentially become, from an installer's perspective, the time management would come down to probably the app functionality and setting it up, and then teaching the user how to manipulate those settings. But in terms of the mounting and pulling the cables for the infrastructure, it was very, very simple.
Yeah, and we'll include a link above the video where we interviewed Arran a couple of months ago, and we were talking about like general home solar installs, etc. And that's where we're talking about installing your cables, etc. for your 3-phase or your single-phase socket, of which this just plugs into.
Is it a thumbs up?
I think it's a thumbs up, yeah. So we've yet to actually plug it into the car. So this is video number 2 of the Fronius 22 kilowatt Wattpilot Go. We've got another video that I'll be putting out, which is actually putting it through its paces, testing it. So we'll be testing it here at home. We'll also be taking it to a 3-phase location and testing it on 3-phase. And also I've got somebody who's kindly loaned a 3-phase EV that I'll be able to charge on, because the Mighty MG is only single-phase 7 kilowatt.
Yes, correct. But the other thing to mention too is this is quite a safe device. It's got a 6 milliamp DC protection inside, so all you need from an installer's perspective is just a Type A, which is a standard RCBO for Australia, and that's all is required.
And that's in your switchboard, isn't it?
Correct.
Yeah, so that's in your circuit that comes to your outlet here, and then all the other protection and circuitry you need is actually in here. Yep. And we'll also do another separate video on these adapter leads or extension leads, because there's a lot of different combinations you can get there, different lengths obviously. We were just discussing if I wanted to use this in really bad weather, I could run an extension lead and leave the car plugged in the garage. So there's a multitude of leads you can get, different prices and all that sort of stuff. So again, we'll have a separate video on that coming up shortly. Well, thanks very much, Arran.
No worries, Greg.
We'll keep in touch, and yeah, look forward to seeing how these sell and how many inquiries you get.
Yeah.
So as we've mentioned, Fronius at the moment are selling these through their solar installers. Arran's obviously looking into that to see how, being an EV charger specialist himself, how he can get some access to those. So certainly reach out to Arran if you're interested in one of these, and we'll see what we can do.
Lovely.